covering for Elder Rawchaa and Elder Lawya today. Elder Zianash, and this is Brother Malak. Okay. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Before we get started, we're going to say the Lord's Creed. So, I just want to say, let's bless this day in the name of the Most High, Ahaya, and His Son Yeshaya, and the Holy Spirit. I guess we'll start with the Lord's Creed before we get started. All right. Shema Yasha'ala Ahaya Alahaya Nawa Ahaya Akkad.
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 Okay, it's the Lord's Creed. That's the Most High's Creed, and it's "Hear, O Israel, the Most High power. Thy power is one power." All right. So today's lesson is another good lesson by Elder Rawchaa called "No Fear in the Faith." All right. And lately we have been, or Elder Rawchaa has been designing a lot of good classes in the spirit. And although it seems as if some of the classes are being directed towards people migrating and leaving, because I got some responses that people kind of felt like the classes, at least the past 3 classes that I have taught, Elder Rawchaa has been focusing primarily really on people examining themselves and making sure that they're strengthened and that they have a resolve when it comes to being in the mindset that they need to be in when it's time for them to make their exit. All right. So today's class is about the fear aspect of what could stagnate you from leaving the country and what could stagnate you from serving the Most High. All right. So I don't want people to think that these classes are totally directed on just leaving America and leaving the prospective places that you're at. Although one day you will have to do it. But these classes are designed to help prepare you and help you wrap your mind around the possibility that one day you will have to leave and make a move. All right. And you can't let fear stop you. You can't let being attached to society stop you. You can't let anything stop you from listening to the voice of the Most High when He calls you to exit. All right. So as I mentioned before, today's class is called "No Fear in Faith." Okay. So let's read the commentary.
All right. It says, "Fear is a disabling thing. Many times it is our fear which keeps us from getting to the next level of anything we hope to venture into. It also affects the way we progress in our spiritual growth. We must learn to suppress our fears, as the times ahead will be full of fearful sights and much tribulation." Let's go over a few scriptures to help in our learning to overcome fear.
So let's get Deuteronomy 20th chapter, in verse 66, because dealing with the realization, okay, of what we are about to embark upon and what's happening in society today. It can cause doubt. It can cause uncomfortability. You can start questioning your security. You can start wondering, if this is something that you can really do. Okay, but the Most High prophesied these mental conditions on us, so we cannot let these conditions affect how we view prophecy and how we view Scripture and how we view how we need to stand in these last days. Okay. So, Deuteronomy 28?
Yeah.
Just give me 1 minute. Deuteronomy 28, verse 66, I said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66.
Start with 65.
Verse 65.
Mm-hmm.
"And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest."
That's interesting, too, because the Most High prophesied that once we were scattered, that we wouldn't find any ease. And we wouldn't find any rest amongst these nations. Okay, so it's not going to be comfortable. Okay, our captivity hasn't been pleasant. All right. Excuse me, I lost page. Read.
It says, "But the Most High shall give thee there a trembling heart.
So the Most High said while we was in these countries, we would have a trembling heart. So wherever you're at in your respective places, the Most High prophesied that you would have a trembling heart. And you would have these notions of second guessing what it is you're doing in this truth and what you need to do. All right? Read.
And failing of eyes.
And failing of eyes, because being in these societies, we have to see our deliverance. We have to see we have to see things in order to feel comfortable about things. We have to touch them in order to feel confident about things. But this is a movement that you're not going to be able to see and you're not going to be able to touch physically. All right? But you still have to have comfort in the decisions that you make and in the directions that you move in. Read.
And sorrow of mind.
And also the Most High said that we would have sorrow of mind. So when you think about these things and you think about what you have to do, what you have to anticipate, what you have to look forward to, it causes you to have sorrow of mind. All right? Read.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt.
And the Most High said that our life would hang in doubt. So a lot of us, through fear of what we're not able to really anticipate, what we're not really able to control, it causes us to develop a phobia of fear, a discomfort. And we have to manage it, because if we don't manage it, it's going to cause us to meet our demise. All right? Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night.
See, the Most High prophesied that we would fear day and night. It was part of the curse that he brought on our people, to be in this mindset and to be in this kind of condition. But the Most High also comforted us too with certain scriptural understanding, so that we would feel comfortable enough to make the transition when it was time to. Okay, is there more on that?
It says, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
You see that? We don't have any assurance of our life, and that's what a lot of us want. That's what a lot of us are looking for. We're looking for the comfortability. We're looking for to be confirmed that we're going to survive and that we're going to make it. And it is. When you read certain scriptures, the Most High does provide us with that security and that comfort. But we're so used to relying on the security and the comfort that society offers us, so we don't embrace the true comfort, and we don't have that true confidence in the Most High that we need to have, because we're used to seeing and we're used to touching. Things have to be tangible for us. But this is not that kind of walk. This is a walk by faith. And if you have the spirit of fear, then it's going to be difficult for you to walk this path and travel this road. Okay, read.
And it says, verse 67, in the morning thou shalt say, with the Most High it were even, and at even thou shalt say, with the Most High it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear.
Exactly. So let's move on. Let's get Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. Okay, just wanted to kind of just open it up with that scripture. Ezekiel 3, and let's start from verse 4.
All right. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech.
Right, so the Most High is talking to Ezekiel, and he's telling Ezekiel, listen, go to the house of Israel. Right, and you're not going to a people of a strange speech. Read.
And of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech, and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto me, but the house of Israel would not hearken unto me.
So the Most High said, if I sent you to an unfamiliar people who couldn't identify with you, they would have understood you. Read.
For they would not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead against their foreheads.
So the same way the Most High made strengthened Ezekiel and made his face strong and his forehead strong, we have to do the same thing too. We have to strengthen ourselves, and we have to put on our manhood, and we have to put on our womanhood, and we have to stop embracing the spirit of fear. Read.
Verse 9. As an adamant Harder than flint have I made thy forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.
Right, so the Most High said, listen, don't fear. Okay? Don't be afraid of their looks regardless, or even though they're rebellious people, listen, don't be afraid of them. So when we have to deal with this knowledge and this truth and embrace and accept what our calling is, we have to roll in the same manner and view things the same way that Ezekiel viewed things. We cannot be afraid. Okay? We cannot be faint-hearted. Read.
Verse 10. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears.
Mm-hmm.
And go, get thee to them of the captivity unto thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, Thus saith the Most High Power, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear. Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing.
Yeah, verse 12?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. Let's start with it. Let's read this commentary here. Can you see that?
Yeah. It says, Ezekiel, much like our leaders today, have been sent to a nation of people who are mighty, who are highly rebellious. Threats, rumors, and lies are just a few things you run into doing this work. Regardless of the obstacles, the mission must go on. All the prophets were met with such challenges, but they finished their course.
Right, so coming into this truth, doing this work, you're gonna face many obstacles. Okay, you're gonna face a lot of trials, a lot of tribulation, a lot of negative experiences. Not all the time. Some experiences are going to be positive, but some you have to accept the fact that some are going to be negative, and you can't let those negative experiences run you away. All right, let's get 1 John the 4th chapter, because that's what a lot of us do. We let these negative experiences discourage us. We let them persuade us and change our mind. You know, they weaken us. We start second guessing. Is this something I really should be doing? How can you question whether you should be serving the Most High? How can you question whether you should be in this knowledge and this truth? Because you're going through some difficulties. Right? 1 John, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 and 15, read that.
1 John chapter 4 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever shall confess that Yeshua is the Son of the Most High dwelling in him.
Right, so you have to confess. This is part of this is part of our job, part of our responsibility in acknowledging the truth, confessing the truth about the Most High, and confessing the truth about His Son. So you can't run from this responsibility. All right, and you can't run from this truth. Okay, it's more of that.
And he in the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 16. And we have known and believed the love that the Most High had to us. The Most High is love, and he that dwelleth in him, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in the Most High,
mm-hmm.
and the Most High in him.
Mm-hmm.
Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world.
Right, so it's the same way that he had boldness when he was in the world. That's the same boldness that we need to have and that we need to apply instead of running away. All right? There's more on that?
It says, verse 18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
You see that? So there's no fear in the love that the Most High offered towards us. There was no fear in the love that Yeshua offered towards us. So we shouldn't have any fear when it's time for us to offer up our sacrifice, which is ourselves, which is our time. All right? And anything that we possess materialistically or monetarily that can be utilized to further the gospel, we need to lay that on the line also. Read.
Because fear had torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
You see that? So fear torments you. That's all it does. Fear torments you. Fear, it controls you. Okay? Fear affects you in a negative way where you cannot reach and obtain simple goals. Because you allow fear to dictate how you were viewing things, what decisions you needed to make. You allow fear to do all those things for you instead of allowing the Most High and the confidence that you should have had in Scripture to assist you along that path or making those decisions. It's more on that?
That's it on that.
Let's get 1 Corinthians, the 16th chapter. A lot of us made a lot of mistakes dealing with the spirit of fear. I know I have. It stagnated me. I couldn't grow. I didn't grow. And I was wondering why I found myself always in the same spot, or just having the same mentality and the same viewpoint, because I was afraid to step out there on faith. I was afraid to challenge myself. I was afraid to change. 1 Corinthians 16 and 13. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Watch ye, stand fast in the faith.
Right. That's what we have to do. We have to stand fast. Stand confident in this in this truth. You read?
Quit you like men. Be strong.
Right. And be like men. Be a man. Be a man about it. Be a woman about it. You understand? Put on some strength and cast off the weak nature. Read.
That's it on that.
Okay, get Proverbs the 24th chapter. Proverbs the 24th chapter and verse 10.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
You see that? And this is what happens to a lot of us. When we're dealing with adversity or something that we thought that we couldn't handle or make it through, what do? We faint, we get weak. And then we want to pull back, we want to step back. But that's not the thing to do. The thing is to strengthen yourself and press forward. Keep moving. Don't stop. Keep moving. Okay? Read.
Verse 11. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain. If thou sayest, behold.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Read that again.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain.
Mm-hmm.
If thou sayest, behold, we know it not. Do not he that pondereth the heart consider it?
Right. Don't the Most High ponders our hearts? Don't he consider these things? Doesn't the Most High consider your behavior? Whether you're really a supporter of the work, or whether you're really able to make this sacrifice? Are you really able to put your life on the line? The Most High, he views and examines all those things about us. The same way I would examine those things about anyone else that I was fighting side by side with. I would have to take a look at this brother and question his confidence, or question his world-like spirit. Do he have the heart that I have? Because I'm prepared to die if I have to, but does he? Does she? So the Most High ponders our heart. Read.
And shall not he render to every man according to his works?
Right. And see, the Most High will render every man according to his works. So you were weak. So if you were weak, then you're going to get a weak response from the Most High. If you're fearful, then you may get a fearful response from the Most High. You may not get a positive response, because the Most High, he was looking at you, and he did a self-examination of you and saw that you wasn't really confident, or that you wasn't really courageous. All right? There's more on that?
Yeah, that's it on that.
Okay. Let's get Luke the 9th chapter. I just want to get a few more scriptures on this, then I'm going to read back. Just want to touch base a little bit on this fear. How it can affect you. Luke 9 and verse 62.
Luke chapter 9, verse 62.
Let's start from 57.
Verse 57. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Yeshua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests.
Yeah, see, we talk a lot. We talk a lot about, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be consistent in this truth. I'm strong. I'm gonna ride to the end. Whatever cliches we say. Read.
And Yeshua said unto him, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests.
Right, but Yeshua told his brother, listen, foxes, they have holes, and birds, they have nests. Read.
But the Son of Man had nowhere to lay his head.
But he said, listen, the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. Now, this brother said he was going to follow him, like we say we're going to follow Yeshua. How we say we're going to stand firm and stand strong in his truth. But when adversity comes, what happens? What happened? A lot of we have a reason why we can't do this, a reason why we can't do that. And the Most High, he's seeing all those things. He's seeing your responses. He's seeing how you're dealing with things. So now you're unreliable. But you want the Most High to be reliable, though. You want to depend on him, but he can't depend on you to make camp, to teach, to study, to be strong, and strengthen other brothers and sisters. It works both ways. The Most High has to rely on us just as much as we have to rely on him. Read.
Verse 59. And he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go bury my father.
See that? We always have an excuse. You understand? And then we have legitimate excuses. At least we think they are. It's not enough. Nothing is enough. Nothing is enough. There's nothing you can really say to the Most High on why you can't be a servant, why you can't worship him, why you can't bring your brick to this work. Read.
Yeshua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High.
You see that? He said, let the dead bury their dead, but go and preach the kingdom of the Most High. Now, Yeshua wasn't being insensitive, but he just wanted this brother to understand how important it was for him to preach the kingdom, to save thousands, if not millions of souls, versus putting one soul to rest. That's what he was trying to get the brother to see, the importance of how, listen, it's much more important for you to do this, brother, than to go do that. All right? Read.
And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell.
You see that? It's always something. It's the cares of the world. That's what it is. It's us not really seeing what it is we really need to see. We're not really seeing what we need to see. All right, read.
But let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yeshua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
You see that? The Most High sees this. You're disqualified. You're not a prime candidate. If he sees that in you, if he sees that fear, oh, this guy is scary, man. I don't know if I can depend on this guy. I don't know if we can really rely on him. You want to pass the torch to this guy? There's more on that?
That's it on that.
That's it. Okay, let's get a few more. Let's get 2 Peter's. Let's move on. Go to Luke the 12th chapter.
All right.
All right. And 41 will bypass 2 Peter's. 41 and verse 41, 12 and 41.
All right.
Luke 12 and 41.
Luke chapter 12, verse 41. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even unto all? And Yeshua said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household?
Who is it? Who's going to be the faithful and a wise steward? Who's going to be the faithful and a wise servant? Because you have to be faithful. You have to be dedicated. You have to be trustworthy. You have to have a certain type of conviction about yourself just to do this work. Read.
To give them their portion of meat in due season.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing.
Right, because the responsibility is great. It's great. The harvest is plentiful. So, just like with any, Most High is not a businessman, but just like when you're looking at business, you have to be reliable. If your boss have a bad dream one night, you may get fired the next morning. Okay, because you understand, he needs you to be on time. I need you there because things don't get done. Listen, when we're not on point, souls don't get saved, and that's how we have to look at it. Read
verse 45. Oh, verse 44. It says, "Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he had."
Right, without a doubt. If you're found worthy and you're a consistent, then you will be rewarded for your work. All right, read
verse 45. "But if that servant say in his heart, My Lord delay his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants."
You see that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's what can happen by you not really seeing and understanding what you've been called into and what you've been called for. Then you can begin to start beating the Most High servants. Okay, you can lose faith. You can find yourself in a state of disbelief because you don't understand time, and you really don't understand the responsibility you have in this work. Read.
"And maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken. And the Lord of that servant will come in the day when he looketh not for him."
You see that? Because a lot of times we'll just go back out in the world, being impatient, not understanding what's taking place, not understanding scripture, and we'll go back out in the world and start dealing with an idle mind. Start getting involved in things we're not supposed to get involved in. Read.
"And at an hour when he is not ware, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers."
See, your portion could have been with the faithful. Your portion could have been with the unbelievers. But what happened? Something took place. You got fearful. What happened? You backed out. You started doing other things. You stopped believing. Your faith wasn't strong enough. Read.
Verse 47. "And that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes."
You see that? So you didn't prepare. Okay, you didn't truly understand the responsibility, and you didn't live up to the standards of being a priest or a prophet, or just being a son or a daughter of the Most High and serving them and worshiping him. It's more on that.
Last verse it says, "But he that knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes."
Right. So because a lot of us know better, we get beat with more stripes, and the one who really didn't know, who really didn't understand, genuinely just didn't understand because they didn't have clarity, they get beat with few stripes. They get leniency. But not us, because we understood it. We were in it. And then we backed out of it. Something happened. We became fearful. Something about it frightened us. Whether it's you having to make changes in your household, make changes, on your job, or make changes within your lifestyle. A lot of us, we get fearful when we have to make changes, especially when the change has to be an immediate change. We get fearful and we back out instead of persevering and staying strong and doing what scriptures tell us to do, and keep moving forward. It's more than that.
It says, "For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required."
Right, so to whom much is given, much is required. All right? Is that it or not? All right, let's read this commentary. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
It says, "It is with love for the Most High and the brethren that we continue on regardless of the challenges. That love will serve us well in the hour of temptation, when strong delusion and many dangers may be upon us."
That's it? Let's get 1 John 5:1. So regardless of the condition, regardless of the environment, regardless of what's going on and taking place, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how horrific it may be. Okay, we still have to persevere. Okay, you can't get afraid. Cannot build the spirit of fear and run away. It's the wrong thing to do. You have that? 1 John 5 and 1.
1 John chapter 5 verse 1. Whosoever believeth that Yeshua is the Christ is born of the Most High.
So if you really believe, you'll go through the process of rebirth and being reborn. Read.
And everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him.
Right. So if you have been begotten of the Most High through baptism and you're born again, okay, and anyone else who went through the same process you went through, you would have a love for them, a genuine love for them, a concern for them. Read.
By this we know that we love the children of the Most High, when we love the Most High and keep His commandments.
Right. So this is how we identify whether we love the Most High, not by keeping His commandments, and love the children of the Most High, which is our brothers and sisters that keep His commandments also. Read.
For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous.
Right. So this is how we show the Most High we love Him, when we keep His commandments, and His commandments, they're not grievous. Okay, actually His commandments, they're beneficial. Okay, His commandments are life. All right, read.
Verse 4. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world.
That's interesting. So whatsoever is born of the Most High, they overcome the world. Okay, if you're really born of the Most High, not only do you overcome the world, but you overcome fear. You overcome temptation. You overcome these obstacles because you made a commitment through baptism that when you rose or when you rise, when you rose, that you would change, that you would be a different man, that you would be a different woman. So you can overcome fear. You can overcome the world. All right, read.
And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith.
Right, so that's what it is. How do we overcome the world? How do you overcome fear? Excuse me. You overcome it with faith, with belief, with total trust, in reliance, in knowing that, listen, the Most High said that He would do this for me. I'm going to believe that what He says here, and I'm going to live according to His expectations. Okay, I'm going to do the things that He's expecting of me to do, because He made me certain promises. All right, read.
Verse 5. Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth that Yeshua is the Son of the Most High.
Right, read. That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's move on. Let's read this commentary.
It says,
Is that large enough?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It said, it is through understanding the Most High's commandments and keeping them that our faith will be heightened. Understanding our authority in Yeshua also gives us strength to endure the challenges that the world tries throwing at us to shake our faith.
So it's understanding the Most High commandments that gives us our faith. That's our confidence. Understanding the things that He promised us. Understanding all the promises that we read in Scripture that the prophets spoke about. Trusting and believing in those things. That those things are going to come to pass. That we're going to be covered. That we're going to be provided for. So if you read these things, you believe these things, then where does fear come from? There's no reason to develop a fear. But Satan has to always put doubt. Satan has to always put you in a position where you're second guessing what the Most High said. You understand? That's what he does. All right. Let's get Luke the 6th chapter. Let's start from verse 46. Luke 6 and 46.
Luke chapter 6, verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?
Right. So Yeshua is like, listen, why do you call me Lord? Well, how do you call how I'm your power, and you don't do the things that I say? How am I your master and you don't do the things that I say? Servants serve their master. Okay, they do what their master require of them to do. Read.
Verse 47. Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and do them, I will show you to whom he is like.
Right, so he said, listen, whoever hear my commandments and do the things that I tell them, I will show you to whom this person is like. All right, what kind of person is this? Let's find out. Read.
He is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock.
You see that? That's surety. That's what that is. That's security. He's like a man that buildeth a house and dig deep to make his foundation. He didn't put his foundation. You know how some people, like if you understand construction, a lot of people, you can't build a house flat on the earth, on the ground. You have to go maybe 4 to 6 feet, I believe it is, and then lay a foundation of cement. Okay? So that when you build your house, it'll be strong and it'll be stable. Nothing can come and blow it down, or you understand, or knock it down. Read.
And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house.
You see that? And when the flood arose, meaning when persecution arises in someone's life, okay, the same way the flood will come and beat up against a house, it'll tear down. It'll become, the foundation will become weak. So if you're not strengthened and grounded in this truth, what happens? Something that happened in your life, you'll get fearful of what happened. Now you're weak. Just like the foundation of a house. If it's not built properly, if it's not built on it's not built on a proper foundation. And you can also become weakened if you're not built on the proper principles of Yeshua. Read.
And could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock.
You see that? So nothing should be able to shake you. And this is why Paul made that statement too. I forget where it's at right at the moment, but he spoke about that, how that I think he was talking to the brothers and sisters that were in Galatia about how they were so soon shaken and troubled. That's what happened. We get shook. Now our foundation our foundation has to be strong. Shouldn't anything shake us? Nothing should shake us. Especially if we have the foresight and the foreknowledge of what's taking place and occurring in the earth through prophetics and through reading scripture. It shouldn't surprise us. Why are we moved in our spirit? And we get scared. It's that fear. All right, gotta fight it. Read.
Verse 49. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation.
Right, so he that hear and don't properly prepare and don't study to show himself approved, don't get grounded in the doctrine. Read.
Built in house is like a man without foundation built in house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently.
You see that? So a lot of us just build our house on the earth. That means, you know what that means? That means we dealing with the surface. That's what people are dealing with, the surface knowledge and the surface information. Nobody's really grounded and settled and rooted. And this is why a lot of people get tossed to and fro, dealing with different doctrines, dealing with different information, because they're not grounded in Yeshua. All right? Read.
And immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great.
Right. And when you're not grounded and you're not settled, you've actually really found out that your last state was even worse than your first, because you could have prepared for it. You could have did what you needed to do to keep yourself stable and stabilized, just like Isaiah spoke about. He said knowledge and wisdom will be the stability of your times. But what knowledge were you dealing with? What wisdom were you dealing with? Did you properly apply that knowledge and wisdom when you were getting it? So it's all these different things we need to think about that affects our state and how we stand. All right, there's more on that.
That's it on that.
Okay, let's get let's read this commentary here. Sorry, I don't know why I keep touching that mouse.
Yeah, that's just right there. We already read this one.
Okay, let's get Hebrews the 13th chapter. Hebrews 13 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Let your conversation be without covetousness.
You see that? So we have to let our conversation be without covetousness. Meaning we have to let our conversation be without us always needing, always wanting something. You understand? Always, you know how you have some people, they have, when you look at that conversation, they're always talking about what they need and what they're trying to get. They never, and 9 times out of 10, they're talking about needing materialistic things and carnal things. They never talk about what they need to do to strengthen their spirit. They just talk about what they need for the outer body, not the inner. Read.
It says, and be content with such things as you have.
You see that? Instead of them being content with such things as they have, what do? They launch a mission, robbing and stealing, conniving, being deceitful, just to get the things that they want, to satisfy the flesh, to put on an outward body and not the inward man. Read.
For he had said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
Mm-hmm.
So that we may boldly say, the Most High is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
Right, so the Most High is our helper. So we shouldn't have a fear of what men would do, can do towards us. And a lot of us have that fear. A lot of us have a fear, and I'm not saying you shouldn't provide for a roof over the top of your head for your family and a vehicle to get your wife and the children back and forth to school. I'm not saying we shouldn't do those things. But don't let the necessity and the need of having those things compromise you serving the Most High, because you're putting those things first. All right? That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it on that.
Let's go back to Luke the 12th chapter again. So for fear of losing worldly possessions, we'll transgress against the Most High. We will stop serving the Most High. We will stop following the Most High for fear of losing something. How can we put these things before the Most High? How can we put these things before our spiritual growth and development? But that's what we do. It doesn't make sense. I said Luke 12?
Yeah, Luke 12.
Okay, give me a minute.
13.
We didn't read that, did we?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I've been in Luke
Yeah.
for a while. All right. Okay, read that.
Luke chapter 12, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother, that he divide the inheritance with me.
Now this is interesting, because this is a brother. See, listen, the Most High, he's not dealing with physical and carnal things. And we need to understand that. That's why the Most High says that if you're a lover of this world, you are enemy with the Most High. If you love this world, because he's not dealing with this world. He's not dealing with anything materialistic and carnal in this world. All right? Because for our sakes, even though he was rich, he became poor. So he understood the sacrifice. He didn't let those things. Yeshua wasn't holding on to the treasury for himself, because he was dealing with greed and selfishness and didn't want to do anything for anybody. He wasn't giving grudgingly, like we do, holding on to everything and not wanting to let it loose. Hand is always closed. Read that again.
Verse 13. And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother, that he divide the inheritance with me.
You see that? So there was a brother that was rolling with Yeshaya, and he was like, "Listen, Yeshaya, I've been talking to my brother, and we have an inheritance, and he don't want to share it with me." That's what we do when we have an unfortunate, you understand, death in our family. What do? We start fighting over everything: the house, the will, the car, whatever's left. We start ransacking the house, and here come the arguments. Dad said I can have it, but it wasn't in the will. You and your brothers and your sisters, your spouses, and your siblings, you start fighting over these things, going to the extent to kill and murder for it. Read.
Says verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
He said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you?
You see that? He said, listen, who made me a judge or a divider over you? What he was saying, like, listen, I'm not judging that matter. I'm not dealing with that. I don't have nothing to do with you and your brother trying to resolve a carnal issue. Let's go build the kingdom. Let's go do this work. That's what I'm dealing with. Read that again.
Verse 14. And he said unto him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness.
You see that? He said, take heed and beware of this spirit of covetousness. Beware of this spirit of feeling like you have to have this and have to have that. Because when you feel this way and you're in jeopardy of losing the things that you're attached to, what happens? You become fearful, you become weak. Man, I gotta go, I gotta go get this money. I gotta go do what I have to do. Then we're not seeing you in class, not seeing you at camp. Why? Because you wasn't really prioritizing. Yeshua already says, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first. That's too much for us. We want to try to get the monetary gain first. Spend all our life running after the monetary value and the monetary gain, and you know what? And we never get it. And then when we do get it, what do we have to do? We have to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. So you don't keep it in your pocket. You're not. So you can't store it up, especially the paper money, because that's really of no value. Soon to be of no value. So instead of you taking your resources and investing in the truth, listen, the Most High have a stock option you cannot beat. We don't do that. We put everything we have in the world. A world that's declining and a world that's going to be destroyed. Read.
For a man's life consisted not in an abundance of the things which he possessed.
Can't tell some of us that. Can't tell some of us that. You mean what? Life don't consist in what I have? Man, without this stuff, I don't have a life. That's how some of us think. Without a car, without a certain house, without certain type of clothing, a lot of us feel incomplete. And that's sad. How can you feel incomplete? How can you feel empty? How can you feel not like a man? How can you feel not like a woman? Because you don't have a materialistic objects. A lot of us were in a bad mental state. And as I mentioned before, when these things when you're in jeopardy of losing these things, what happens? Fear just come over you, and you panic. First thing you want to do, you want to go out there and you want to try to make something happen, and it's not the thing to do. A lot of times it's good just to sit still. It's more than that.
Yeah, it says, verse 16, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits?
You see that? That's how we get a lot of times. You got surplus, you got alms, you have extras, but you won't give that away. Won't give it away. Wait a minute. I got to stash this. I have to set this to the side because greed. We will not distribute to the necessities of the saints. Read.
Verse 18, he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater.
See, this is what I'm going to do. I have an idea. Don't give to the poor. There's no benefit in that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to build greater. I'm going to add an addition onto my house. I never understood that, though. People already have houses, nice houses, and they want to add an addition. Not just saying you're building a porch or something, to block the sun or whatever. But people add whole wings and whole rooms and things like that to their houses. Like what they have is not enough. Read.
And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Right, so that's where he put all his fruits and his goods at. Into something physical. Into a barn. All somebody got to do is start a fire. And the flame blow. That's it. So he didn't store properly. Read.
Verse 19, and I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him,
you see that? I'm good. I'm in a good state right now. I have plenty of vigils and everything. Read.
But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Right, but the Most High said that he was forced because that night his soul was required of him, and he passed away. Read.
Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided?
You see that? Then who will those things go to that you have provided? Everything that you built, who does it go to? Now, those of you who understand even an inheritance of your son and your daughters, I support that. You understand? But just doing things, being carnal, like this brother was, and not making the right investments, and not putting your money into the proper things, you end up suffering the loss. And then who will go to? Especially today, it goes back to the bank. That's where it goes back to. You worked your whole life to pay off a house, to pay off a car. And who benefits from that? The bank. We don't even benefit from it. The family don't benefit from it. The kids don't benefit from that. Your wife don't benefit from that. You know what it's sad. We got to figure this out. Because you know what we have our people inherit? Bills. That's what we have our people inherit. Bills. We have to take a look at this thing. There's more in that.
Verse 21. So is he that laid up treasure for himself, is not rich towards the Most High.
You see that? So we have to be rich towards the Most High. That's what's important. Not being rich to ourselves, not being rich to other people so they can see us doing good. That's what we live for. That's what we do it for. We don't do it because we really need it. That's not a necessity. We do it because we want the next man to see that we have it. That's what we do it for. That's what we do it for. Just for vain glory. So that someone can say, yeah, look at him. Look at, yeah, he got it. It's 2017. Yeah, he got it. Brother doing good. And that's all you want. That's all you want. That's all you want out of life. It's just glory and recognition. Like there's nothing. That's why Yeshua said what he said. Man, life consists of more than these things. Not to us. Small man.
Yeah, it says, verse 22. And he said unto his disciples, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on.
Now listen, he's not saying starve. What do you call those things? Those guys do in prison? Oh, yeah, hunger strikes. That's not what Yeshua is saying to. And he's not saying go outside. He's not dealing with nudity. So of course you understand, purchase garments and things like that. All right. But what he's saying is that Don't let these things dictate who you are. You understand? Don't let these things stagnate what I'm requiring of you, what the Most High is requiring of you, what He needs from you. But that's what we do, and it doesn't make any sense. But let's read on.
Verse 23. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barns.
And that's interesting, and that's why he's giving this example, because at the end of the day, when this society declines and everything's over, guess who you have? Guess who you have? You have who you always had. You always had the Most High. You always had Yeshua. You always had the Holy Spirit. They were always there. But you ignored them. You set them aside to pursue vainglory and to pursue something that someone else told you you're supposed to have, that you're incomplete without. This is what we choose to do. And this is why the Most High be so wrathful with us. This is why when He bring the hammer, He bring it. Read.
It says, consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barn, and the Most High feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls? And which of you with taking thought can add to his stature 1 cubit? If ye then be not able to do that thing which is least, why take ye thought for the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow and toil not, they spin not. Yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then the Most High so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will He clothe you?
You see that? And being in pursuit for all these things, and like I said, when these things are in jeopardy, and your life or your wardrobe is lying in doubt, you become fearful. All right? Go to 34.
Verse 34. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
You see that? So where your treasure is, your physical treasure, that's where your heart is really at. It's not with the Most High. And a lot of us, we have to learn to let these things go and not panic and not develop a spirit of fear when we can't obtain these things. Because eventually you do get the things you need. The Most High doesn't give you things, He doesn't do things on your time, He does things on His time.
Yeah.
And guess what? It ends up actually still being on your time because it comes right on time.
Yep.
But you just, that's not enough for you. It's not enough for us sometimes. Let's move on. Commentary here. I'm going to bypass Lamentations.
All right. It says, oftentimes we lack contentment in our life scenarios. This lack of contentment trains us to doubt. Where there is doubt, fear enter in and chokes the word, so that we fear men rather than the Father.
That's what happens. By us just not being content, by us just not just saying, okay, I can deal with this. Excuse me. I can get along with this for now. This will do until I can make some other arrangements, or until the Most High determines to send me a blessing. I'll settle for this. I'll deal with this right now. And as I said, what we do when you don't embrace that train of thought, now Satan takes hold of you now with the fear. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to figure this out? Not saying that you don't try to strategize. You understand? And you don't try to look forward to figuring situations out. You do that. But once you and your wife sit down and come to a decision or a resolve, you pray about it and you let it go. you don't dwell on it, and you don't feed that spirit of fear. You figure it out, send it up to the Most High, and you wait for His response. All right? Where we at?
2 Timothy.
Let's get 2 Timothy, the first chapter. Everybody know what fear made them do. We all remember what fear made us do. Fear made us miss it. Fear defiled us. Okay? Fear deluded us. Fear perverted us. Fear has done so much. That spirit of fear, okay, and that spirit of covetousness, it has made us become beasts, monsters, things that the Most High and Yeshua and the Holy Spirit is dissatisfied with. That's what it has done to us. That's what it's still doing to some of us who don't know how to manage it. All right. So 2 Timothy 1:6.
Yeah. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 6. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance, that thou stir up the gift of the Most High which is in thee.
That's right. So listen, Paul is saying, listen, I'm gonna put y'all in remembrance and stir up the gift that is in you. So a lot of times, I know some of y'all are probably tired of hearing these self-examination classes. But listen, these classes are important. They're important because we have to strengthen ourselves, and we have to get ourselves together. A lot of us, what Elder Rawchaa mentioned earlier on in the beginning commentary about how these things cause disabilities. A lot of us are disabled. A lot of us are disabled, and a lot of us we need certain teachings to help us get ourselves together, and to help us revive our spirits, and help us get our mindset together, to help us start acting like men again. Okay, to help you sisters start acting and behaving like women again, to help us to start managing and start correcting our children. So I know it's repetitious, but this repetition is not vain. Read that.
2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 6. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance, that thou stir up the gift of the Most High,
Right.
which is in thee, by putting on of my hands. For the Most High had not given us the spirit of fear.
You see that He hasn't given us that spirit of being scary, that spirit of being incompetent, that spirit of being inconsistent. That's the spirit of doubt, being afraid all the time, being unsure all the time. He didn't give that to you. Satan gave that to us. He didn't give that to us. And when you tap into your real spirit, the way some of you do at certain times, and you muscle up, and you feel that spirit, that's what He gave you. That spirit of confidence, that spirit of power, that spirit of self-control, that spirit of trust, that spirit of faith. All that comes from the Most High. The other spirits we're dealing with, that we embrace, Satan. Read that.
Verse 7. For the Most High had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power.
You see that? He gave us the spirit of power. Power to conquer, power to destroy, power to be rational, power to reason properly, power to overcome, power to abstain, power to endure. He gave us all of those things. It's in us. But we don't utilize it. We don't put it to work. We let Satan quench that spirit. That's what we let Satan do. But But we've been quickened already. How can you let Satan listen? We already on fire. We're already on fire. And you're gonna let Satan come and quench that fire and quench that flame. You're gonna let Satan come and put out your candlestick. That's why the Most High said that He removes it. Because you're not utilizing it. You have a light and you're not even, and you're dimming you're allowing your light to be dimmed. So you're allowing your light, the light that's in you, to be dimmed so that you can't see, you can't help nobody else see. There's more than that.
It says, but power of love and of a sound mind.
That's right, a power of love and of a sound mind. Not a fearful, irrational mind with multiple different thoughts running all through your mind. You're just confused now. Satan did that. When that initial thought, it was a thought of confidence. But Satan got to come and take that which was sold in our heart away. And we let him. We don't even come back. Like, wait a minute. Let me shake this off. We don't even come back. Soon as Satan come in, all our thoughts are negative from that point on. Everything we think about is an excuse. Why we can't do it. Why I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. I don't know how to do it. We start embracing all those thoughts instead of figuring it out. Instead of taking our time and doing a projection or doing a further analysis or whatever. Figure it out righteously and properly and execute it and make it happen. Pray about it and have the Most High bless it. We don't do that. There's more than that.
Last verse, it says, verse 8, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord.
You see that? So let's not be ashamed anymore, brothers and sisters. Why are we ashamed? Why are we ashamed to live the way the Most High wants us to live? Why are we ashamed to live righteous? Why are we ashamed to let people see our light? People are supposed to see it. But we hide. We hide it. That's not confessing Yeshaya. If no one can visibly see you exemplifying Yeshaya, that's not professing him. That's denying him because you're dealing with shame. You don't want anybody to see. You pretending. How can you not want anybody to see you doing something righteous? But you know what we deal with? We have a fear. I was on the street. You understand? I can't let them see my weakness. But when they see or perceive something what's inside you as weak, it's really your strength. That's what it really is. Let them stay in ignorance and say, "Oh, so you acting all weak." No, you're behaving strong. Why? Because you're abstaining from sin. You're abstaining from ignorance. And there's more than that.
Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord.
You see that? Don't be afraid of the testimony. Don't be afraid to teach about the testimony. And definitely don't be afraid to live it. Read.
Nor of me, his prisoner.
You see that? And don't be afraid to put it on. That's the garment that Yeshua is talking about. That's the garment that the brother didn't have that was a wedding guest. He didn't have the garment on. He didn't have Christ Yeshua on. Don't be afraid to put it on. And don't be afraid to let people see it. How else are we going to be a light to the Gentiles? How else are we going to be a light to our family? To other brothers and sisters? They have to see something in you. They have to see Christ inside you besides seeing you all the time. There's more on that.
It says, but be partaker of the affliction of the gospel according.
Read that again.
It says, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of the Most High.
Right, but we have to be partakers of the affliction. Everybody want to be a partaker of the blessings, but not the affliction. Listen, it's both. You're going to go through some hardships. You're going to go through some joyous times. You have to deal with that and embrace that. There's something wrong with the lighting?
I think it's the same.
Oh, okay. Okay. We apologize about the lighting. It's just the sun is starting to come through the curtains here. Okay. But it's okay. Listen, I don't have to see. What y'all need to do is just hear.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. One moment, please. Oh, okay. That's just a response. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, where are we? Is that there, right? Okay. Oh, we have commentary? Or we're still in 2 Timothy's?
Yeah, we done with that.
Okay. Let's go to get Philippians, the 4th chapter. We'll read back. Okay. Philippians 4 and verse 10.
Philippians chapter 4 verse 10. But I rejoice in the Most High greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein you were also.
So Paul was appreciating that brothers and sisters were supporting him, that cared enough for him to support him. Okay? Just like we care about and we appreciate the support that you brothers and sisters give us. We appreciate you getting involved in Hebrew Academy. We appreciate your tithes and your donations. We appreciate those things. All right? Read.
It says, wherein you were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am.
Interesting, because Paul is saying, listen, I'm not saying it because I want something from you. I'm not saying this because I'm going to ask you for something. Read.
It says, therewith be content. I know both how to be abased.
You see that? So Paul was saying that, listen, I know how to be content when I don't have something, or when brothers and sisters are unable to support me or sustain me. Paul said he understood that. And it didn't move from one way or the other. Read.
And I know how to abound everywhere. And wait
a minute. And Paul said he knew how to abound everywhere, meaning he was able to adapt. And that's what we have to be able to do. Not get fearful, not become afraid. Oh, what am I going to do? Listen, adapt to your environment, adapt to your condition, and work it out. Read.
And in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry.
You see that? So he's already, he understood. He received the instructions. He understood. He understood the concept of why Yeshua sent the disciples out the way he did. Because they needed to know what it was like to go out and have nothing and rely totally on the Spirit, but also rely on the goodness of brothers and sisters who received the gospel. Because when they received the gospel from the disciples, they were so appreciative that they provided them with what they needed. They provided them the monetary resources that the disciples needed to get to and fro, to get on ships, or to buy clothing, to buy food. They gave them cloaks and things like that. The same things you brothers and sisters do for the church. Because y'all appreciate the knowledge and the information that we're bringing out. So as a form of gratitude and appreciation, what do some of y'all do? Y'all pay tithes and y'all give donations, which is appreciated. Read.
And in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me.
You see that? Because at the end of the day, where does the strength come from? It comes from Yeshua at the end of the day. Who's the provider? Who's the sustainer? It's Yeshua at the end of the day. All right? You see more on that? Okay. All right. Read this commentary.
It says, the spirit of fear comes from the adversary, not the Most High. You must not be ashamed to witness the testimony.
Wait a minute. Can I say something?
Yeah.
What if Paul would have panicked? What if Paul would have panicked and dealt with fear? I know y'all tired of hearing me say this, but, you know, like, I love Rawchaa. That's my brother. Because he never stopped. Never stopped. And guess what? Just like Paul didn't stop, because Paul understood the importance of him being available and being and persevering in the work for you, for us. The same way Rawchaa, not, you know, I'm talking about Rawchaa, but also the other elders too. All you brothers and sisters out there who stay steadfast and continue to build this church, so that some of you newer members can get this information and get this knowledge. You got to give them credit for that. You have to. So Paul understood the importance and persevered under certain conditions, whether he had or didn't have. I know Rawchaa told us some of the potato days. I know he probably, you know, told y'all about that. You understand? It was some rough times building this church in the earlier days. Brothers was going through the same thing Paul was going through. And it wasn't for Paul leaving these letters, they would have folded. But Paul left these letters. And brothers derived inspiration. They derived courage from these letters, and they persevered because they understood how important it was for them to remain. Take my hat off to you brothers and you sisters. Don't want to leave y'all out. All right, where we at?
Yeah, it says the spirit of fear comes from the adversary and not the Most High. We must not be ashamed to witness the testimony of Yeshua until the end.
To the end. So Satan is working on him. I gotta stop him. Wait a minute. And you know this is his world. So Satan is, listen. Wait a minute. I gotta cut those resources off. That check, it needs to get lost. That opportunity, no, don't let that happen. Satan jumping in and out of people like he was jumping in and out of the prophets. You understand? Or jumping in and out of Luke and Judas and them. He was moving. Wherever he tried to cut you off. He'll get anybody he can get into. You understand? So he can cut you off, especially if you're making a conscious decision to leave him and serve the Most High. When you've been serving him, listen, he have a problem with you now. So you really gonna catch it. You catch it. Is more on that?
That's it on that.
Okay, let's get where we at? Philippians. Let's get Acts the 27th chapter.
Yeah.
Something I want to get out of that, so that I think is interesting, that I think we could learn from. This is Paul when he was going on his voyage, I think, to Rome.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to bounce around. Get 27. Let's start from 9.
All right. Acts chapter 27, verse 9. Now, when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past.
So this is Paul on a boat sailing, right? And they're dealing with a bad storm. They're dealing with a tempest. All right? Read.
Paul admonished them Verse 10, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be hurt and much damage, not only the landing in ship, but also of our lives.
And this is interesting because what I want y'all to think about, I want y'all to think about y'all life. I want to think about how when you come into this truth, you deal with adversity, you deal with temptation, and you deal with difficulties. Because the scripture says that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, the same way Paul was like, listen, I think this is not going to be a smooth sail. Read.
Verse 11, nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul.
Now check this out. So the brothers, the people, I think it was about 200 and something people on their ship, if I'm not mistaken. And Paul was telling these brothers that they were going to have difficulties on this trip. Okay, because of the storms and the tempests, but the people allowed themselves to be persuaded by the captains of the ship that everything was going to be all right. The same thing we go through when we bring the truth or we come into the truth and we allow our families to tell us, listen, this is not going to work out or that's not going to work out. You're in the cold. They try to discourage us. So I wanted to use this as an example for us to draw on. All right? Read.
Verse 12, and because the heaven was not commodious to winter in, the more part advised to depart thence also.
Jump down to 18.
Verse 18, and being exceedingly tossed with a tempest the next day, they lightened the ship.
So now they're being tossed the next day. So now they started taking everything off the ship because things is getting difficult. So now they're liquidating, they're getting rid of stuff. Let's get rid of the weight. Read.
Verse 19, and the third day was cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship.
So now we got physical. Read.
And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away.
You see that everybody on the ship thought they was going to die. I don't know if we're going to be able to manage this. I don't think we're going to escape this storm. The same way we get when we in the storm. When we on the ship and the boat is rocking, we get unstable, we get fearful. We start doubting. We lose faith. We lose confidence. But we can. Because the promise has already been made to us. The Most High told us that He was going to provide for us. He told us that He was going to sustain us. It's a done deal. But you have to go through the experience. And that's what scares us. The fear of going through the experience, it scares us. And what happens? We don't press forward. We back out. We put the car in reverse. That's what we do. Instead of mashing on the gas. You understand? And rolling. Read.
But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them, and said, Sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss.
Right, so Paul said, listen, y'all should have listened to me, and y'all wouldn't have had this kind of experience. The same thing we try to tell brothers and sisters. Receive instruction from leadership and receive instructions from your elders. Read.
And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. For there stood by me this night the angel of the Most High.
See, so there was an angel telling Paul, listen, everything's going to be fine. The same way there's an angel, our angel tell us. The same way our angel communicate with us. You know, Holy Spirit make intercession and tell us, listen, don't do this or don't do that, or this is going to be fine, this is going to work out, we're going to resolve this issue. We don't trust in that. We barely even hear it. And we panic. And we let Satan flood us with frightening thoughts and imaginations. Read.
It says, for there stood by me this night the angel of the Most High, whose I am, and whom I serve, saying, Fear not, Paul. Thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, the Most High hath given thee all them that sell.
So listen, he said, fear not, because you got some more work you have to do. So don't panic, because there's more things that I have a mission for you. That's why the scriptures talks about make your election sure by doing the work. If you're doing the work and you're in the trenches and you're in the foxhole, listen, you want the Most High to use you. That's like the scripture said, when Yeshua come back, you better be found doing the work. You better be found doing something. Just don't be standing there with a shovel in your hand. That's not enough. You better be digging a hole. You better be digging into these works, digging into the scriptures. Something. But you never want to be found expendable. You always want the Most High to use you. The only way you can make that sure if you're in the work. Read.
Verse 25. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe the Most High, that it shall be even as it was told me.
So check that out. He said, listen, don't panic. I believe in the Most High as it was told me. Now listen, the scriptures say all day long what the Most High is going to do for us. The scriptures tell you all day long how the Most High didn't forsake our people and delivered our people. How he going to deliver you? But because we're afraid, that's why the scripture says that it's just a light affliction. We can't even deal with that. We think the world is coming to an end. It's a light affliction. But what happened? We panic. And we fold. And what do? We jump ship like these brothers were. They was going to jump ship. They were going to jump ship and all die. And this is why when a lot of us jump ship and go in reverse, what happened? We go through a life of hardship. Then you're coming back, making phone calls. Yeah, Elder, it was rough. It was rough out there. Yeah, it was rough out there. Because you should have stayed in there. You should have stayed in the boat. Read.
Verse 26. Howbeit, we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come,
What verse are you at?
27.
Go straight to 29.
All right. Verse 29. Then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day.
You see that? So it's nighttime. They can't see the moon. They can't see stars. They don't see anything. They panic. Wait a minute. Roll out a lifeboat. Plan B. There's no plan B. It's only plan A. It's only what the Most High said it's going to be. That's all it is. Okay? Because any man that seeks to save his life should lose his life. And that's what these brothers was getting ready to experience. And that's what a lot of us experience. Because that fear to cause us to panic, and now we're scrambling. And you make it, and you miss it. Read.
Verse 30. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down a boat into the sea.
You see that? So that, listen, man, it's a wrap. It's going down. The ship is getting ready to sink. They letting down lifeboats and everything, trying to save themselves. Read.
Into the color, as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship. Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, except these abide in the ship, you cannot be saved.
He said, listen, except they stay in this ship, they're not going to be saved. And I'm saying this today, right now, except you stay in this truth, okay, you will not be saved. Except you receive the Holy Spirit, except you get baptized, except you truly convert from your sins and repent, you shall not be saved. Read.
It says, verse 32, then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off.
Then they cut the ropes. They came to their senses. And that's what a lot of us need to do when we're dealing with that spirit of fear. Come to our senses and fall back off of plan B. Because there's no plan B. Alright? Because the spirit is going to shift and move us. The same way when you read Acts the 16th chapter, how Paul thought that he was going to go, I think, to Macedonia, or to go to a certain area, but while he was on his course, what happened? The spirit stopped him mid-swing and said, listen, no, go this way. So we're going to move from faith to faith. So because you don't see, listen, you're not supposed to see. You're not supposed to see. That's the whole thing. You're supposed to be guided and led by the spirit. And all the times she's not visible, or what you need Your deliverance is not visible. You're not going to always see it, but we're just used to seeing it. I need to see it, but you're not going to see this. You just have to believe it, trust in it, and follow it. That's what we have to do. All right. So I just wanted to get that account because I thought we could learn from that. I thought it was interesting. So let's move on. Okay. Wow, time is
pushing.
Yeah. Okay.
Want to go down a little bit?
Oh, Elder Rawchaa, kill me. There's a bunch of scriptures I'm missing.
The left click.
All right. So where we at? Acts. All right. Let's just finish these few up right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get Romans in 9th chapter. All right.
Hold on.
9 and what's the 26? 29?
It's 26.
9 and 29.
Okay. Romans chapter 9, verse 29. And as Isaiah said before, except the Most High of the Sabbath had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. I apologize.
To my 8.
It's 8.
Eight and 20, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 and 29. Excuse me, I apologize. Romans 8, chapter 8, verse 29.
Romans chapter 8, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinated to be conformed to the image of his son.
Right. So for a lot of us, it's already been predestined, okay, for us to be conformed into the image of the Most High Son, because that's what he's looking for. He's not looking for our image. He's not looking for the image that we developed. I created my own image. No, he's not looking for that. Okay? And he's definitely not looking for the image of America. He's definitely not looking for that. He's looking for the image of his son, Yeshua. Read.
To be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified.
Right.
And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we say then? What shall we then say to these things?
Question mark. What should we say? What should we say then? If we were chosen, but a lot of us, no one knows who they are. You understand? But just the fact that you were just called into this work, that's enough for me. All I need is an invitation. That's possibility. That's what that is. So now we have to run with that possibility. Okay? And make your election sure. Because you got the invitation. You came into this truth. Yeshua said, no man can come unto me except the Father draw him. So all of us that's in this knowledge and this truth right now, we were called. We were called. Read. And that's confidence right there. We should be confident in that we were called. Because a lot of people are still asleep. A lot of people are still asleep, and a lot of people may not never wake up. You're up. You're a child of the day, of the light, because you can see. But can you really see? When you're dealing with fear and doubt, do you really see? And that's Satan. That's what it is. It's Satan. All day. All right, read.
It says at the end of verse 31, if the Most High be for us, who can be against us?
Right, so the Most High is for us, who can be against us? If the Most High have been sustaining you, If the Most High have been supporting you, what's the problem? What's the problem? The Most High, not somebody else. The Most High have been doing these things. And now you want to second guess him? Something occurs and happens, and now you're shaking? You're fearful? When the Most High, think about that. The Most High is supporting you and sustaining you. The Most High called you. And you still had a spirit of fear. You let the spirit of fear come right in. That don't even make sense. You're supposed to go in total power, knowing the Most High calls you into this truth. Nothing should stop you. Nothing should penetrate your armor. Nothing.
No.
Not to boast and brag. You're supposed to be rolling in the right spirit. Read.
Verse 32. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all.
See, so the Most High didn't spare his own son. But guess what? You want the Most High to spare you. That's what we want. I don't feel like having that experience right now. I don't want to have this experience. You have to have this experience. You have to have, I like to call it the Christ experience, or the Yeshua experience. We all have to have it. The servant is not greater than his master. If Yeshua suffered and put his life on the line, what do you think you have to do? Oh, you don't have to put your life on the line. Huh? That's why Paul said, present your body as a living sacrifice. Was he put his up there? He put his up there. Where's ours at? Wait a minute. Listen, I'll give everything to set my life. That's why Yeshua said that, listen, y'all didn't suffer under blood. Y'all didn't suffer under death. Still living. We're taking a beating. We're being persecuted. We're being cast down. All of those things, we're being afflicted, but we're still alive. We're still here, and we're still strong. Read.
It says, verse 32. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justified.
That's right.
Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died.
That's right.
Yeah, rather, that is risen again.
Right. Even though he died, but let me switch that up. Rather, he risen again. Because he died, right? But he also, how can you die and yet still live? And that's what stagnates us. Because we don't want to die to live. We don't want to die physically. We don't want to die emotionally. We don't want to die carnally. We don't want to die no kind of way. But yet we still want to live. We don't want to make no sacrifices. But yet we still want the blessings. We still want the promises. We don't want to make no corrections. We don't want to do anything. We just want the Most High to just give it to us. Like we deserve it. No, listen, you have to work for it this time. He gave it to us before. He gave it to Adam and Eve before. He's the Most High. He's not doing that anymore. Anything you get this time, you're going to earn it. We're going to work for it. You're going to deserve it. Read.
It says, verse 34. Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died. Yeah, rather that is risen again. Who is even at the right hand of the Most High. Who also make an intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
That's right. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Fear? Fear. Separate us from the love of Christ. I'm afraid. I don't know, man. Something just came over me. Yeah, it's Satan. Why don't you come back over him? The same way he came over you.
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation?
You see that? Shall tribulation do it? Who's going to separate you from Christ? Who's going to separate you from your commitment? From your reasonable service? Who's going to separate you from that? How can you let anything separate you from the Most High? Read.
Or distress?
Distress. I don't know what I'm going to do with this situation. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. weak. That's why Proverbs 24 said what it said. Go with the Most High power, and you go through a little affliction, and you're weak now. Read.
Or persecution.
Persecution. We've been dealing with persecution for the longest. And we're going to deal with more persecution. We have to go through the persecution. We have to go, this is the fiery trial. And that's right. You're going to get burned in the process. Just accept that right now. Read.
It says, or famine.
Or famine. I don't know how we're going to eat. I don't know how we're going to provide for ourselves. The Most High, he's going to provide for us. Listen. Did he not provide for our forefathers? Did not manna fall from out of the heavens?
Yeah.
Or come from the sea? Did it? The quails come from the sea, and manna fall from heaven. These things they have been done. We read the testimonies. And we lack trust and confidence in that, like the Most High is not going to do it for us. But you know what it is? Just like Ecclesiastes talks about, it's our sins that's weighing us down. That's what it is. And it's hard to have the confidence and the trust when you know you're not right in your spirit. That's what it really is. So what should we do? Let's work on our spirits so we can develop the trust, so we can develop the confidence, so we can fight against the fear. Because that's where the doubt comes from. Well, I don't know if the Most High really want to do it. Why? Because you're a sinner. Just committed a sin yesterday, last night. So now you don't have confidence now. Whether the Most High is going to really do it or not. Listen, put the sin away. And every time you think about what you need, the Most High always going to give it to you. Read.
It says, our nakedness.
Or nakedness, because I don't have anything to wear. I don't have anything to wear. You don't have anything to wear. It's some people who don't come to class, who don't come to Sabbath service because they don't have anything to wear. How could you forsake the assembly over a piece of clothing? But that's what we do. Miss out on the nourishment. Miss out. What the elders is dropping and bringing out. Miss it. For a lame excuse. That's what we do. Read.
It says, or peril.
Or peril. Persecution. Going through different situations. Well, this just happened. That just happened. Listen, that's more of a reason to dig in. When you're going through persecution and peril. That's more of a reason to cling to the Most High. Because listen, you're in it now. Can't nobody deliver you no matter what you do. They was throwing stuff off the ship. Wait, maybe we can make the ship lighter. Or maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that. Thinking of all kind of carnal things. They save themselves. When all they had to do was trust in the Most High and trust in what Paul was saying. That's all they had to do. Trust and believe. Read.
Or sword.
Sword. Destruction. That's what it is. That sword. That sword gets us. Because a lot of us, we're afraid to die. We're afraid to die. And as long as you're afraid to die, Satan is going to always have control over you. As long as you're afraid to die, and as long as you are afraid to suffer, this society is always going to have control over you. Read.
It says, verse 36, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Mm-hmm.
We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors, through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High.
You see that? Nothing. Nothing should be able to do it. Nothing should discourage you and shake you to the point when you're thinking about leaving the Most High? Think about that. Read that again.
It says, "For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come."
You see that? Death, life, principalities, powers, angels, more things that's happening now, more things that's going to happen in the future. Nothing is going to shake me. Nothing. If I die, then listen, so be it. Why? Because I'm going to live again. The only thing that dies is this shell dies. That's it. But I don't die. You don't die. Just your shell. You shed a shell. You shed your flesh. That's it. I know that's a little heavy for y'all, but that's the reality of it. Read.
"Nor height, nor depth, nor any other creatures shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Christ Yeshua our Lord."
Couldn't say that any better. Last scripture. Get Revelations, the 12th chapter. Oh, there's so much I missed. I apologize. Revelation, the 21st chapter, excuse me. Now, I just wanted to just kind of really, touch base on different aspects of fear. You understand? Revelations 21:6, and how it stagnates us, and it affects our faith. It affects our walk. It affects everything that we rely on. It affects everything that we need to make it.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 6. "And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountains of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things."
Right, so that he that overcometh shall inherit all things. That's what you have to do. You have to overcome sin. You have to overcome temptation. We have to overcome this devil. We have to overcome ourselves. Read.
All right, it says, "He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son."
That's right.
But the fearful, and unbelieving,
and those who don't believe,
and the abominable,
those who are still dealing with abominations,
and the murderers,
people who are murderers,
and whoremongers,
people who are whoremongers who can't control their private parts,
and sorcerers,
people who are still dealing with idolatry and various forms of witchcraft,
and idolaters, and all liars,
and liars, people who don't want to tell the truth, people who are dealing with deceit. Read.
"Shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone."
They're going to have their part in the lake of fire with burning and brimstone. But it's interesting how initially the Most High said fear. But the fearful, that was first. Because guess what? If you can conquer the fear, you can conquer all the other things. If you can conquer the fear, but because you have a fear, it opens you up and it makes you susceptible to all those other spirits. Because you have a fear of not wanting to fight them. You have a fear of not wanting to change. You have a fear of not wanting to do a self-examination, like you're going to lose something. You need to lose yourself. You need to die. We need to die. We need to mortify our fleshly members that are upon the earth. We need to kill it. That's the problem. Read that. It's interesting that Elder Rawchaa, this is the last scripture. It's powerful.
It says, walk without fear, because fear causes unbelief. And through that opens the door for all kinds of abominable things.
That's right.
These things are worthy of hellfire. And if we hope to drink of the waters of eternal life freely, we must walk in faith, not fear. Stay on the path and walk fearless in the pursuit of eternal life.
Fearless. Need I say more? Well, need the scriptures say more. So with that, brothers and sisters, I really hope that you were able to get something out of the lesson. I apologize for not being able to make it through all the other scriptures, but I just really wanted to just touch base on much as I possibly could go into when it comes to the spirit of fear and what fear does to us and how it affects our walk in this truth. Okay? So I have some announcements that I need to make too. Give me one moment. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention earlier in the intro was that Elder Rawchaa and Elder Lawya, they're preparing for this Vegas event. Okay. So definitely keep him and the brothers in prayer. Okay. Because we want the Most High to open up doors. That's what we want. This is not about nothing else. It's not about tearing anybody down. It's not about exposing, the Christian community or anything like that. Listen, we want souls. We hunt for souls the same way Satan hunting for souls. Okay, we're fishers of men. So that's what it's going to be about next week. All right, when the elder do his thing. All right. So also I wanted to say that brothers and sisters who are still interested, all right, and hold on, let me see this one. I want to make sure I get this correct. Okay, can you make it? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. It says we would like to invite you to participate in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay, you brothers and sisters who may not be involved in Hebrew Academy, the invitation is still extended. You still have an opportunity to sign up and get involved, okay? It says, if you have not yet been a student in the Academy before or are past students, now is a great time to enroll, as our lessons have been updated and 6 brand new lessons are being taught on a whole deeper level. So we've added some additional lessons to Hebrew Academy, okay? So we can go into different directions of the doctrine, okay? It says the Academy is a 3-month Bible, history, and Hebrew language. It's an online course, as most of you already know, in which you can interact with others. Okay, we have a chat where you can interact with other brothers and sisters and exchange information and and just chat and introduce yourselves to one another and befriend each other. It's okay. It says the Academy is a 3-month Bible, history, and Hebrew language online course in which you can interact with others. It includes a 12 full-week lesson, which most of you know. The lesson starts every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. It says these enhanced classes have been customized to ensure you get the most out of each lesson, which includes 12 full PDF booklets and a preset booklet at the end of the course. So along with the lessons that are taught live, we also send you PDF files with the entire lesson in PDF format. Okay, so things that you'll miss sometimes in the lesson, you can actually go back on your free time and open up the PDF file that comes in your email, and you can spend your own private personal time reading and getting more information that may not necessarily cover it during the actual live broadcast class. All right, so that's a plus. Okay, so we're providing you, all the work is done for you. The elders they already put the studies and everything together. It's already prepared. All right, so you don't have to do any research. There's references and links in different PDF files that you can link onto and navigate for additional resources of information. All right. Okay. Also, those who let me make this too. Excuse me. If you would like to enroll in the current academy or pre-enroll, okay, for the next academy, which will be June the 25th, okay, you can visit us at historytimes.org, okay? That's history, that's history, historytimes.org, okay? And you can also send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com, okay? That's gatheringas1@aol.com. That's GATHERINGAS1, okay? Numeric number 1, all right? At AOL.com. Also, we have calendars also, okay? We have worked hard this year on our calendars and made it much more easier to people to read and follow along. This new calendar clearly lists the Gregorian and Hebrew months, dates and seasons, as well as provides a full list of our holidays and feasts. It makes it clear the Sabbath and features powerful illustrations with inspirational scripture using thought-provoking verses of truth. We have also added more room for you to jot down your appointments and make make notes and reminders within the calendar. So the calendar gives you a Gregorian calendar that society is still on, and it also gives you the Hebrew date of the calendar also that we're on, that we should actually really be on. All right. And since the calendar is integrated, I mentioned that also, that it's integrated with the Gregorian calendar, with the true Hebrew calendar, making it easier for us to stay on course with feast days and Sabbaths and new seasons. If you would like to order a calendar, please visit us once again at History Times. It's HISTORYTIMES.org, historytimes.org, or you can send an email to gatheringas1@aol.com. That's GATHERING as 1, numeric 1, okay, at AOL.com. All right. So those are the announcements for today. Stay tuned for Elder Rawchaa, Elder Gocc to come on later on this afternoon with possibly, I think, a law class, or his topics are always interesting. So just stay tuned for the next segment of Sabbath service in class this afternoon. And once again, thank you, brothers and sisters, for taking the time out of your morning to tune in. I hope that you were able to benefit and get something from the class. I hope that you were able to eat and your spirit was revived for the lesson that Elder Rawchaa provided for you all today. And with that, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom, and hope to see you, brothers and sisters, soon. Okay? Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.